Stellar Blade is a PlayStation 5 exclusive releasing on April 26. This game is developed by the same developers that made the popular mobile gacha game Goddess of Victory NIKKE. Yeah, that game. You may be wondering what this game is about, or is it any good? Well, you've come to the right video, as this is another everything you need to know before you buy, where I gather all the news and trailers from an upcoming game, showcasing the story, the gameplay, and formulate an opinion on whether you should buy this game, giving you some guidance and knowledge. So here's everything you need to know before you buy Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is developed by a Korean game studio called ShiftUp, who, as I said earlier, are known for developing NIKKE, as well as another mobile gacha game called Destiny Child, that went end of service just last year. In fact, these three are the only games that ShiftUp has developed, with Stellar Blade being their first console title. Recently, Stellar Blade has gone into some controversy regarding with the character design of the main protagonist, Eve. But before I get into that, let's talk about the game's background first. On April 4th, 2019, ShiftUp would announce an action game called Project Eve, and at the time they were looking to hire some people to work on this project. They released the first look into the game's combat in November 2020, and in the year after, Project Eve was in a PlayStation showcase launching exclusively on the PS5. Project Eve would then officially be called Stellar Blade during a state of play in September of 2022, set for release in 2023. However, the game got delayed to 2024, and back in January of this year, we got an official release date of April 26th, which brings us to the controversy that Stellar Blade has gotten itself into. As said before, the controversy revolves around the character design of the main protagonist Eve, as her design is considered sexualized. No surprise there, considering ShiftUp's portfolio. If we look at the ESRB summary of the game, it says that it depicts some female characters in revealing costumes, for example deep cleavage, skin-tight and flesh-tone bodysuits. There were already mixed reactions with Eve's design over the years, but what made this controversy widespread as far as I know was from an article by IGN France about the demo criticizing Eve's design. In quotes, "a doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman." Now, for those who don't know, one of the designers of Stellar Blade is the CEO of ShiftUp himself, Kim Hyung-tae, who was the illustrator for Blade and Soul and designer for the Magna Carta series. The internet was quick to disprove the article, as Kim Hyung-tae is a married man, as well as resurfacing news back in New Year's Eve 2023 that Eve's model is a body scan of a Korean model named Shin Jae-eun. Now, IGN France made an apology and revised the article, but the controversy has attracted all sorts of people giving their own 2 cents on the matter. I haven't gone through every detail about the controversy, and it does go deep. It's clear that some people have already made their decision whether or not to buy this game from it, but regardless of whether you look into the controversy, you can always check out the demo and make your judgment based on that. The demo was just released at the end of March. You'll be able to play through the demo story, which includes a prologue, a tutorial section, and the first 2 boss fights of the game, taking around an hour to complete. After you complete the demo, you'll unlock a boss challenge mode where you'll fight another boss with a wider variety of skills compared to the demo story. Now, the demo doesn't reveal much of the story, however we do have information about it. The story takes place on a post-apocalyptic Earth after it was attacked by strange creatures called Naytibas, who decimated the human race, forcing the remaining few to flee to a colony in outer space. As you already know, we play as Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad from the colony, who is sent to Earth with one sole mission: to eradicate the Naytibas and reclaim back Earth. During her mission, she encounters 2 new companions, a survivor born on Earth named Adam, who's looking for an energy source called Hypercell, and Lily, a member of the 5th Airborne Squad who provides engineering support for Eve, upgrading her equipment throughout the game. Adam takes the 2 to the only city with inhabitants called Zion, where Eve meets the Elder and the residents in need of her help. As she takes down the Naytibas one by one and piece together the mysteries of the past in the ruins of human civilization, she realized that her mission is far from straightforward, questioning humanity. Now, the gameplay is a mashup between Souls-like mechanics and hack-and-slash mechanics. The game is in a third-person perspective. Eve has a health bar and a shield bar which reduces damage. In combat, you can attack enemies with square for a quick attack or triangle for a strong attack. She has a moveset which can be found and expanded in her skill tree, which I'll talk about later. She can also guard by holding L1, and by pressing it right before getting hit, you can do a perfect parry. Enemies also have a health and shield bar, but underneath their shield bar is a balance bar which you can reduce by perfect parrying their attack. Each enemy will have a varying amount of balance, and if you reduce all of it, they'll become off balance and go into a groggy state where Eve can follow up with an attack called Retribution, dealing massive damage. Eve also has another bar called Beta Energy, which allows her to do beta skills. She could charge her beta energy by attacking enemies in combat. 4 small squares make up 1 beta energy. To use beta skills, you need 2 beta energy, and you can access them by holding L1 and pressing one of the face buttons. You can check out beta skills in your skill tree, and also there are other skills that may require beta energy. To expand your skill tree, you have to use a kiosk at a camp. Camps are places where you can save your progress, restore HP, shop for items, refill your rechargeable tumbler aka your healing flask, and of course learning new skills. To note, resting at camps respawn back enemies. Learning new skills requires skill points, which can be accumulated by defeating enemies. You can also practice your skills in the training room that you can access by pressing square on any available skill. In the demo, there were 3 available skill trees, and I assume one of the locked trees has something to do with Eve's range abilities. Aside from regular camps, there are supply camps which offers more facilities to use, such as upgrading your weapons, gear, and rechargeable tumbler, crafting new gear, and be able to fast travel to other camps. Lastly, there's the exploration. Eve has a drone controlled by Adam that can scan your surroundings, revealing any treasure, enemies, and areas where you could climb onto. It looks like there'll be a lot of places to explore. Zion is situated underneath the wastelands, which I assume is the main area of the game, and most likely, many of the requests you get from the residents of Zion will help showcase the environment. Finally, the question you've all been waiting for, should you buy Stellar Blade? But before that, be sure to like, comment down your thoughts on the game, and subscribe. I'm trying to get 500 subscribers this year, so your support will be greatly appreciated. Well, if you're one of the few who are on the fence or just recently found out about this game, I say that Stellar Blade is worth the purchase. The combat is fast-paced and fluid, the music is great, 60% of it was done in-house whilst 40% was done by Sound Studio Monica, the same studio that composed the soundtrack of Nier Automata. At the end of the day, Shift Up knows what they're doing with Eve's design, but that doesn't diminish every other thing Stellar Blade has to offer. You can tell the care and passion they've put into this game. There's a behind-the-scenes video where they brought on the monster designer from the 2006 Korean film The Host, Jang Hee-chol, to create actual clay sculptures for the enemies in Stellar Blade, which was then 3D scanned and then modeled into the game. All in all, Stellar Blade is shaping up to be a successful game, especially with the controversy. The only thing I'm concerned is if the story is going to be as good as the gameplay. There seems to be some parallels to religion because we have 2 characters called Adam and Eve, and some people are theorizing that Lily could be Lilith, but who knows till the full release. And that's it for this episode. Last week was a rough one for me since I had food poisoning and went to A&E. I was in there for half a day, but it did delay this video a bit since I had to recover. Anyways, I'm glad that this video is done and dusted. I've got some future plans in the works, so be sure to subscribe and check out the channel for more. And as always, I'll see you next time and catch you guys later. Take care.